Officer KD 6-3.7, let's begin. Ready?
Ready.
What is it like to hold the hand of someone you love interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you dream about being interlinked?
Interlinked.
What is it like to hold your child in your arms interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you feel there's a part of you that's missing interlinked?
Interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Within cells interlinked.
Why don't you say that 3 times fast? Within cells interlinked.
Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked. Within cells interlinked. God damn it! Why do I gotta do this every time? I'm a replicant, god damn it. My life sucks. Cut me a fucking break. Wait, were you just laughing?
No. Officer, you are not even close to baseline.
This is a fake test, isn't it?
Are you a fucking douchebag interlinked?
Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel to Ridley Scott's Blade Runner from 1982. It stars Ryan Gosling, a bunch of hot broads playing artificial sex bots, and it also features the return of Harrison Ford's character, Dick Dickard. It's been 35 years since the original, so I don't think I'm the only one who expected this movie to just suck a fat cock, but it did not, at all. In fact, this is probably one of the best movies I've ever seen. Definitely the best movie I saw in theaters this year. I would actually go as far to say it's probably one of the best sequels ever made, possibly even rivaling Aliens and Terminator 2. Yeah, I just said that. While this is technically a sequel, you don't necessarily need to have seen the first movie to enjoy this. However, if you're someone who's still not got around to seeing the original Blade Runner, one of the most spectacular movies of all time, chances are this probably isn't your cup of joe. The visuals and the sound for that matter are some of the greatest I've ever experienced. They utilize CGI perfectly in this movie. Blending it together with practical effects and real sets, the set design in this movie is top notch. I love Ridley Scott again for letting a different filmmaker direct this movie. It was of course directed by Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, your name is Dennis, bro. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pronounce his name right, but I love this director. He of course did Sicario, which was one of my favorite movies of 2015. His style is definitely a little Ridley Scott-esque. Unfortunately, it's been over a week and it seems this movie's not doing too great. People's biggest complaint seems to be that it's just too long, which I completely understand. This movie is a whopping 2 hours and 49 minutes. So yeah, you need to be prepared before going into this thing. But even with the obnoxious running time, it's still one of the best movies I've ever seen. I don't get it. This film is similar to James Cameron's Avatar, you know, the most successful movie of all time, just in the sense that they're both epic experience movies with state-of-the-art effects and visuals. However, the main difference is this movie actually has a somewhat original story and concepts meant for thinking adults. I understand that children and moronic adults won't be able to get into this like Avatar, but come on! Now because it's not doing so well, this is going to signal to Hollywood just to not make any more intellectually stimulating sci-fi movies. Congratulations. Can't wait for that Avatar 2. I pretty much love everything about this film. It's almost perfect. As I said, the visuals are incredible. The set designs are first rate. It has all the heady themes from the first movie, but I actually found myself a little bit more wrapped up in this one. Also, the acting is great. Ryan Gosling is perfect in this. Harrison Ford is actually better in this than he's been in anything in a long time. The woman who plays the sort of antagonist replicant is great, and Jared Leto is surprisingly very effective and creepy as the main villain. Oh yeah, and Avon Barksdale plays a cop in one scene with a couple throwaway lines. Spoilers! I guess Dennis is a fan of The Wire? I don't know, I found that interesting. My only complaint is the same as everyone else's. It's too long. I think if they just trimmed it down by maybe like 15 minutes, it probably would have been better. But like I said, this still does not ruin it for me at all. My second biggest complaint is people should not be able to purchase popcorn and wrapped candies before a movie like this. I'm serious. Why in the fuck would you go to see a movie like this that's got a slow pace and is all about emotion and atmosphere and spend half the time munching on loud ass popcorn and fiddling with candy wrappers and shit? This is honestly what it was like for me a couple times while watching this in the theater. Kinda takes you out of it, doesn't it? Anyway, aside from all that bullshit, I would definitely recommend this movie to any movie buff, sci-fi fan, or just anyone who is at least of average IQ. If you haven't seen the original Blade Runner, then what the fuck are you doing? It's like one of the most beautiful movies ever made. Go watch it, you dumbass. But you don't technically need to have seen the first one to get this. I would definitely recommend going to see it in IMAX, preferably with not too many people in the theater. Otherwise, just wait to watch it at home when you got a second. It is definitely worth 3 hours of your time. Unless you just have some really important shit to do, which you probably don't. I'm Ronnie Rappacock, and don't be such a fat, obnoxious piece of shit when you go to see a Blade Runner movie, alright?
That was fucking trippy.